For the next few days, we're going to see horrible wind, rain, and flooding across the southeast. When the waters recede, people will be left to put their damaged communities back together. But it's going to be expensive. So who picks up the tab? Likely, it's going to be more than one person. Here's how it breaks down. First, people will look at their own private insurance and what they'll cover. If they have flooding, they'll likely look to the federally funded National Flood Insurance Program. If the issues can't be solved by the first two places, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, will step in.
What happens if the storm is partial? Your house was messed up by the storm and by the flooding, the wind. It can get complicated, and so I think that's why oftentimes after these storms, you see these payments. They're coming out for years after these storms.
David Insera of the Heritage Foundation says FEMA is working to streamline what some say is a confusing process. As far as federal dollars go, it all comes down to a nearly 30-year-old law called the Stafford Act. If the president makes a disaster declaration, FEMA is responsible for up to 75% of cleanup efforts. That makes the declaration more than just a public warning statement.
It makes a huge difference. It unfortunately also sets sort of a perverse incentive. If a state wants to get all this money, they sort of have to be unprepared. If they're prepared for a small disaster, if they're well prepared, then the disaster declaration doesn't come.
The state has to show the government the storm will be beyond the capabilities of that state to handle. FEMA Administrator Brock Long spoke about preparation for cleanup earlier in the week from the Oval Office.
Successful disaster response and recovery is one that's locally executed, state managed, and federally supported.
He wants it to be conditions on the ground. That's the locals sort of determining what's done. The state and local, the states are the ones sort of overseeing that process because they're closer to the problem. But then the feds are sort of the furthest away from this, probably mostly engaging with money. They want to move more of this responsibility down to the lower levels. That way, FEMA officials can keep thinking about, well, what's around the next corner?
Federal monies will inevitably come to help people with this storm cleanup and the next one and the one after that. But officials say in order for that money to be spent correctly, the local and state governments will need to take the reins.